I am delivering. Trump recognizes Jerusalem as Israel capital amid worldwide fury. Speaking at the White House today, the U.S. president said his announcement was nothing more than a recognition of reality and the right thing to do, something that has to be done. He announced that the United States will recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel after days of speculation. And he directed the State Department to begin looking for a site for an embassy in Jerusalem, in a move from their existing site in Tel Aviv, a process which is expected to take years, although Trump has signed a 6-month delay to the move. He also said he would remain deeply committed to helping facilitate a peace agreement acceptable to both Israelis and Palestinians despite his announcement, adding the United States would support a two-state solution if agreed to by both sides. But he said the world is no closer to a lasting peace agreement in the region, adding recognizing Jerusalem as the Israeli capital is in the best interests of the U.S. and the pursuit of peace between Israel and Palestinians. Trump said, Jerusalem is the heart of 3 great religions but also the heart of one of the most successful democracies in the world. Israeli people have built a country where people of all faiths are free to live and worship according to their beliefs. Jerusalem is today and must remain a place where Jews pray, where Christians walk and where Muslims worship. Trump called his decision a long overdue step to advance the peace process. He said, I have determined that it is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. While previous presidents have made this a major campaign promise, they failed to deliver. Today, I am delivering. The Israeli minister Bennett was the first to react to Mr. Trump's speech, saying of the announcement, "Thanks U.S. President, today is a shiny day for the Jewish people." And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also given his reaction to Donald Trump's speech, hailing the announcement as a historic landmark. He also called on other countries to follow Washington's lead and move their embassies to Jerusalem. Israeli and American flags have been projected on a part of the walls surrounding Jerusalem's Old City ahead of the announcement. But the move is a shocking break from established U.S. policy and has been described as the kiss of death for a two-state solution by the Palestinian authorities. And ahead of his speech this afternoon, the U.S. State Department issued a cable to all its diplomatic posts worldwide on Wednesday asking its officials to defer non-essential travel to Israel, Jerusalem and the West Bank until December 20. The cable read, Embassy Tel Aviv and Consulate General Jerusalem request that all non-essential visitors defer their travel to Israel, Jerusalem and the West Bank from December 4 to December 20, 2017. However, Vice President Mike Pence will go to the Middle East in the coming days, the president added to his speech despite the warning from the State Department. Ahead of his press appearance this afternoon, he was bombarded with warnings from both Western and Arab allies who claimed the announcement could potentially threaten regional stability in an already conflicted area. After the speech, United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said there was no alternative to a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians and that Jerusalem was a final status issue that should be resolved through direct talks. I have consistently spoken out against any unilateral measures that would jeopardize the prospect of peace for Israelis and Palestinians, Guterres said after U.S. President Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. In this moment of great anxiety, I want to make it clear, there is no alternative to the two-state solution. There is no plan B. I will do everything in my power to support the Israeli and Palestinian leaders to return to meaningful negotiations. Jerusalem's status has been a stumbling block in decades of on-off Israeli-Palestinian peace efforts. Israel considers the city its eternal and indivisible capital and wants all embassies based there. Palestinians want the capital of an independent Palestinian state to be in the city's eastern sector, which Israel captured in the 1967 Middle East War and annexed in a move never recognized internationally. A Palestinian envoy said the decision was a declaration of war in the Middle East as China and Russia expressed concern the plans could aggravate Middle East hostilities. And after Mr. Trump's speech, Influential exiled Palestinian politician Mohammed Dahlan said on Wednesday Palestinians should reject any future peace talks and halt security coordination with Israel. He said, "I call for withdrawal from the absurd and endless negotiations with Israel after the principle of inviolability of the status of Jerusalem has been breached. I call for ending all forms of coordination, especially security coordination, with Israel and USA." Washington's allies in the region have all warned of dangerous repercussions from Trump's decision. Turkey said it could go as far as breaking off diplomatic ties with Israel if the U.S. move went ahead, as a government spokesman warned it would plunge the region into a fire with no end in sight. Tonight the U.S. Embassy in London warned citizens of the need for caution and personal awareness in the wake of Donald Trump's Jerusalem announcement. Turkey also condemned the move, labeling it as irresponsible. Several hundred protesters gathered outside the U.S. consulate in Istanbul, a Reuters cameraman at the scene said. The protest was largely peaceful, although some of the demonstrators threw coins and other objects at the consulate. "We condemn the irresponsible statement of the U.S. administration, declaring that it recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and it will be moving the U.S. Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem," the Foreign Ministry said in a statement. "We call upon the U.S. administration to reconsider this faulty decision, which may result in highly negative outcomes, and to avoid uncalculated steps that will harm the multicultural identity and historical status of Jerusalem."